The ocean is vast, dark, and largely unexplored. But beneath its surface, hidden in silence, are some of the most powerful machines ever built. Weapons that can disappear for months, travel across the entire planet underwater, and launch nuclear missiles capable of ending civilization. These are submarines. But submarines didn't begin as the ultra-advanced nuclear giants we know today. Their story begins with desperate inventors, primitive machines, and one simple dream: to travel beneath the sea. The idea of underwater vessels is older than most people realize. One of the first working submarine concepts appeared in 1620, when Dutch inventor Cornelis Drebbel created a vessel for the English Navy. It was essentially a wooden boat covered in greased leather, powered by pedal and oars. It could dive a few meters below the surface of the River Thames. Primitive, but revolutionary. For the first time in history, humans had successfully traveled underwater. Over the next 2 centuries, inventors around the world attempted similar machines. But the real turning point came during the American Revolutionary War. In 1775, an American inventor named David Bushnell built a strange machine called the Turtle. The Turtle was the first combat submarine ever built. It was a small, one-man vessel shaped like, well, a turtle. Inside, the operator pedaled and cranked hand-powered propellers. The mission? Attach a timed explosive to the hull of a British warship. In 1776, the Turtle attempted its first attack against the British ship HMS Eagle in New York Harbor. The mission failed when the operator couldn't drill through the ship's copper hull. But the idea had been proven. A hidden underwater weapon could attack ships without being seen, and naval warfare would never be the same. Nearly a century later, submarines returned to war. During the American Civil War, the Confederate States built a submarine called the H.L. Hunley. Unlike the Turtle, this submarine carried a crew of 8. 7 men turned a large hand crank that powered the propeller. The weapon was a spar torpedo, essentially a bomb mounted on a long pole. The submarine would ram the explosive into an enemy ship, then back away before detonation. In 1864, the Hunley attacked the Union ship USS Housatonic. The explosion destroyed the ship. It was the first successful submarine attack in history. But victory came at a cost. Moments after the explosion, the Hunley sank as well. All 8 crew members died. Submarines had proven their deadly potential, but they were still incredibly dangerous to operate. Submarines truly came into their own during World War I. Germany deployed a fleet of submarines known as U-boats, short for Unterseeboot, meaning undersea boat. These vessels were far more advanced than earlier submarines. They ran on diesel engines on the surface and electric batteries underwater. U-boats stalked merchant ships across the Atlantic, often attacking without warning. Their goal was simple: cut off Britain's supply lines. By 1917, German U-boats were sinking hundreds of ships every month. The strategy nearly starved Britain into submission. But unrestricted submarine warfare also helped bring the United States into the war. Submarines had become one of the most feared weapons on Earth, and their evolution was only beginning. During World War II, submarines became central to naval strategy. German U-boats formed deadly wolf packs, coordinating attacks against Allied convoys. Entire groups of submarines would hunt together at night, ambushing cargo ships crossing the Atlantic. At the height of the Battle of the Atlantic, thousands of merchant ships were destroyed. But submarines weren't only used by Germany. The United States Navy launched its own submarine campaign in the Pacific. American submarines hunted Japanese shipping across the vast ocean. By the end of the war, U.S. submarines had destroyed over 1,300 Japanese merchant ships, nearly 200 warships. Even though submarines made up less than 2% of the U.S. Navy, they sank over half of Japan's merchant fleet. Submarines had become one of the most efficient naval weapons ever created. In 1955, everything changed. The United States launched the world's first nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Nautilus. Unlike earlier submarines, nuclear reactors allowed submarines to stay underwater for months. They no longer needed air for engines. They could travel faster, deeper, and farther than ever before. Soon, submarines carried a new weapon: nuclear ballistic missiles. Today, a single submarine can carry enough nuclear weapons to destroy multiple cities, hidden somewhere in the oceans, impossible to track. These submarines form the backbone of nuclear deterrence for major world powers. Modern submarines are among the most sophisticated machines ever built. They use advanced sonar systems to detect enemies hundreds of kilometers away. Their hulls are designed to absorb sound, making them nearly invisible. Some submarines can operate under Arctic ice. Others deploy special forces teams secretly along coastlines. And the most advanced submarines can remain underwater for 3 months or longer without surfacing. But the ocean still holds secrets, and submarines continue to push deeper into the unknown. From a wooden leather boat on the River Thames to nuclear giants hiding in the darkest parts of the ocean, submarines have become one of humanity's most powerful and mysterious machines. Silent, hidden, and nearly impossible to find. Somewhere beneath the waves right now, a submarine is watching, waiting, and no one on the surface even knows it's there.